Okay folks, it's a very hot day today, just like yesterday, and we're just going to get stuck in and do some demos. We're not going to let this heated weather stop me from creating my work. So I'm going to keep making these demos, come rain, hail or shine. So let's see how we go with this. I'd have to be pretty sick from the heat to have to stop this. You might hear I might get in a bit of a cranky mood, folks, because it is very hot and it's very hard to work in these conditions without feeling a sense of botheredness, hot and bothered. So yeah, you might hear me throwing some F-bombs around, but that's to be expected with my videos. I do have quite a potty mouth, folks, so be warned if you're not a person who likes to hear the F-bombs and the SH and the C-bombs, whatever. I don't normally use the C word as much as I use the F word. But anyway, enough about that. Let's see what we're demoing with. We have here a doll. It looks like a Frozen doll. Anyway, that's the back of it. It looks like a Frozen doll. Not that I know much about this kind of stuff. Wondering, maybe I might have to lighten it up further. I don't know much about dolls, and I'm not a doll person. When I was a child, I preferred cars and trucks and other boy type toys. I wasn't interested in dolls or dresses. So, in other words, I was a full-on tomboy. I was a tomboy, folks, and I'm still a tomboy as I speak. I'll always be a tomboy, folks. I do think being a tomboy does have a use. Like one day I'll be building photocopiers, and I want to build the best ones there are. And when you're a tomboy, I guess you might build things that look a bit more practical, or that are more practical, more rugged. And that's how I want to build these machines. I want to make them last, and I want to make them look good, look like serious pieces of kit. And I'm shaking. It's a hot day, folks. This is taking too long. Stabilizing image, please wait. This is typical Konica Minolta, but this took a long time to stabilize it. Fuck, I'm getting hot and bothered already. I'm sweating. I can't put the fan in here, obviously, because the papers would fly everywhere and all that sort of shit. So this is our doll. But they make good, dolls make good models for photocopying. That looks really good as on its own, but I normally like to do more to an image. So I'll just show you that. That looks really good. We can use that as a master copy to make a movement piece. So I'm just I'll give this away. I'm sure some person, I mean, boys do play with dolls, just like girls like myself like cars, for example, cars and trucks. So basically, some boys play with dolls. Sad that they get called names like sissy. If a girl can play with toys, with trucks and cars and shit, a boy should be allowed to play with dolls. And in fact, a boy who plays with dolls could potentially make a better father, because if he's got a feminine side, he might be able to be more loving towards the child or children. He might be a more compassionate sort of person. So don't think that you're a sissy just because you play with dolls if you're a boy, you know, because you could mean that you make a better husband for some wife, you know. You're still a boy, or you're still a man if you love to play with dolls. You're still a man. You're not a fucking, you know. Now I'm going to make this into something more interesting, but this looks really good. I made the positioning really nice. But yeah, I like, you know, if you like dolls and you're a man or a boy, or should I say a boy, because normally it's kids that play with dolls typically. But dolls are collectible as well. people do collect them. But yeah, I like the unisex way of things, that we shouldn't put stereotypes based on sexuality or sex or whatever. Now this looks interesting. Well, I'm wondering if that's going to make a good master copy. But at least we got that one looking good. This one, just wondering. The nerds will inherit the copier world. Yes, they will. I'm actually thinking I'm going to do another one first. But yeah, I like toys, and I like male-dominated things. Like, I wanted to be a photocopier technician. That was my ultimate job. Back when I was young, I thought that would be the ultimate career path that I could take to get involved with these equipments, to learn about them, and to also be able to modify them for creative use. So there's a lot of reasons why I wanted to become a technician. Of course, I have brain damage at birth, had a cord around my neck and a breech. Happy birthday to me when I was born with that cord around my neck, coming out feet first. Now that looks even better. I think this is a better piece. So yeah, caused a great deal of strife having that cord around my neck, cutting off the oxygen to my brain. But I'm not going to let this disability destroy my future, folks. I do believe that the technology will come about when they have it, that we'll be able to have brain implants that can help boost the functioning of the non-functioning parts, like the short-term memory and the hippocampus, which are very sensitive to oxygen starvation. So, and that when that happens, I'll be able to go and return to the workforce, and I'll be able to work as a scientist and a CEO. I'm going to run a copier company that makes the best photocopiers there are on Earth, and they're going to be good for the planet as well. They're going to be basically made from recycled materials instead of virgin materials. Where the materials will probably be sourced will be places like India and China, which are notorious dumping grounds for e-waste or electronic waste, which is extremely toxic, and it's so wasteful throwing out gold when you're throwing out the rest of the waste. So you can basically, if you can retrieve that waste and process it, it should really make a really good resource for energy efficiency, as well as saving valuable resources and getting rid of toxic chemicals from the ground. So it's going to be like a clean-up for places like India and China, so that their places can be clean and green and beautiful again. And you got to think of these things. And another thing I want to do is solve the issue of climate change and global warming. I want to be able to use technology as a scientist to fix the damage done to our Earth. So we've got to stop this climate change by using science, and that's what I want to do. And most of the money that I earn as a CEO will be put towards science, like how to get rid of this climate change, how to harness the power of lightning to make another form of renewable electricity. There's a lot of things I want to do, folks, despite my disabilities. And if the technology arrives that can help get rid of most of the problems that I have, like the short-term memory and the hippocampus damage done by the oxygen starvation, well, I've got a bright future ahead, and I do have faith that there will be technology that will fix the problem. They'll have quantum computer chips that run at normal room or normal temperatures instead of the highly refrigerated environments that they require so that they can function properly. So there's a lot of things that need to be done, and I look forward to a bright future, folks. And I'm just going to be myself, and that's what I expect from myself. And that's what you guys have got to do too, is be yourself. Now that looks really nice. I think now we can call this demo quits. Just heard the beeps. There we go, quits.